Myself, Mrs. Madhvi Navarkar, working as a lecturer in Kekewa Polytechnic, Nasik. Today, we are going to see the first tutorial from PLSQL. In this tutorial, we are going to see the introduction of PLSQL. Now, first we will see what is PLSQL. The long form of PLSQL is Procedural Language Structured Query Language. Till now, we have seen SQL, that is Structured Query Language. Now, we have added the PL, that is Procedural Language, before SQL. PLSQL is an extension of SQL. Means we can say that this is the advanced part of SQL. Or we can say some extra things are added into SQL and PL and SQL are combined as a PLSQL. PLSQL is a combination of SQL along with the procedural features of programming languages. Means we can see that SQL plus programming language features is combined into one language, and that language is the PLSQL. The PLSQL was developed by Oracle to enhance the capabilities of SQL. PLSQL is a powerful programming language which allows user to write the program to do various operations on the database. Means what? We can write down the program for performing the operations on the database. PLSQL bridges the gap between database technology and procedural programming languages. How it is going to bridge the gap? SQL part is there. SQL cannot perform the control structures, then looping like this. So if you want to give such a programming features, then that can be included into PLSQL. So this is going to bridge the gap between the database technology and procedural programming language. Now we will see why the PLSQL was invented. There were some drawbacks of SQL. That's why PLSQL was invented. So first disadvantage or drawback is SQL does not have any procedural capabilities. Procedural capabilities means it does not provide the programming techniques like conditional checking, looping and branching. Conditional checking means we can say if else. We have seen that in C. Then looping means you have to use it repetitively. And branching means if yes, then do something. If no, then do something. It cannot be performed in SQL, but it is extended into PLSQL. The second disadvantage is SQL statements are passed to the Oracle engine one at a time. What is this? Whenever you are going to write down the query, that query will be passed to the Oracle engine for the execution. Only one query at a time. You cannot apply two queries at a time. So after this what will happen? It increases the network traffic. Means you have to wait for completion of first query. Then you can go for second query. So these are the disadvantages. Now we will see the advantages of PLSQL. As in SQL there were disadvantages. So in PLSQL ultimately there are some advantages. First is PLSQL not only supports SQL data manipulation but also provides the facilities of conditional checking, branching and looping. This was the drawback in SQL. Then PLSQL sends an entire block of statements to the Oracle engine at one time. This in turn reduces the network traffic. In PLSQL what will happen? It will give multiple statements for execution at a time. So it is going to reduce the network traffic. But in case of SQL, you are going to execute only one statement at a time. Third one is PLSQL gives high productivity to programmers as it can query, transform and update the data in a database. Means by using PLSQL, you can make the changes, you can transform, you can query by using the program in database. PLSQL saves the time on design and debugging by storing the features such as exception handling, encapsulation, data heading, and object-oriented data types. Then PLSQL permits dealing with errors and also facilitates displaying the user-friendly messages when errors are encountered. Means what it does, whenever there are some errors, it will give such a statement that user can understand what that error is about. These error checking is represented by giving some user-friendly messages. Now we will see the block structure of PLSQL. Means how the program of PLSQL can be written. There are 4 blocks in PLSQL block structure. First is declare, second is begin, third is exception, and fourth is end. Now first part is declare. Which one is optional? Optional means if you are not written, it can work. This declare part contains the declaration of variable, constants, or assigning values to variables. Means if you want to use three variables, then you can declare those variables into declare section. Second part is begin. This begin is what? This is the actual body of the program. Means you can say it contains the PLSQL executable statements. Whatever logic you are applying for your program, that will be written into begin part. Then third is exception block. Exception is also optional. Exception is what? Suppose something is happening bad in declare and begin, that will be given as an error in exception block. And for handling that error, you are writing some user-friendly messages, and that user-friendly messages will be written into exception. So it is the exception handler block. And the fourth section is the end. This is the end of the program. And after end, you are going to give the semicolon. Now, PLSQL Execution Environment. Now, this is the figure which gives how the program of PLSQL can be executed. Now, see, in the left hand side, there is one block where I have written PLSQL block. So, this is the input which contains PL part also and SQL part also. And after that, there are 2 parts. The top part is the PLSQL engine and bottom part is the Oracle server. These are the 2 parts of Oracle engine. Because Oracle engine executes SQL also and PL also. Now, in this case, what will happen? The PLSQL block can be given as an input. Then from that PLSQL block, the procedural is given to procedural statement executor and SQL part is given to SQL statement executor. Means from your PLSQL block, the statements of PL are executed by procedural statement executor and the statements or commands of SQL are executed by SQL statement executor. And combinedly the output can be displayed on the screen. Now next part is variable. We have seen variable. Variable means what? It is some value where you are going to store some value which can be variable. Variable means vary. So how to declare the variable in PLSQL? PLSQL variable declaration always specifies variable name, its data type and size. In PLSQL variable declaration, you can also define the initial value of the declared variable. Initial value means if you want to assign some value to the variable, that will be assigned. Now we will see the syntax. What is the syntax? First variable name, then data type, then into bracket size, colon equal to value, and then semicolon. Variable name means name of the variable which you want to use. Data type means what type of data you are going to store into the variable. Size is the optional as I had written into square brackets. Size means what? How many characters you want to store into that particular variable. That size will be the maximum size value. And each variable declaration is terminated by semicolon. Now see, we will give one example. A number into bracket 2 colon equal to 5. A is what? It is the name of the variable. Number is the data type. 2 is the size. Colon equal to is the assignment operator in PLSQL. Normally we have equal to, but in PLSQL it is colon equal to. And 5 is the value which can be stored into A. So we can say that this is the value as a constant which can be stored into A. The next is message. MSG is the name of the variable. Data type is varchar2. Size is 10. Colon equal to high. As high is the string, it is written into single quotes. Now, how to display the user messages on the screen? Means you want to display something on the screen. We can say that this is same as printf from C language. Now, for displaying the user messages on the screen, the command or the statement used is dbms_output.put_line. Now, among this dbms_output, it is a package or header that includes the number of procedures and functions that accumulate information in a buffer so that it can be retrieved later. Means what will happen? Whatever you are doing, that will be stored into particular buffer and then it will be transferred to the user. And this function can also be used to display the messages to the user. Then in that package, one statement is there, that is put_line. Means this statement can be used to display the message to the user. This is a combined one, dbms_output.put_line. Whatever you are writing here, that will be displayed to the user. Now the next command is set server output on or off. Set server output on is what? To display the message to the user, and always before running any program, it should be set to on. This server output is a SQL plus environment parameter that displays the information passed as a parameter to the put_line. Means whatever you are writing after put_line, that will be passed to the Oracle server, and if your server is on, then and then only it can be displayed on the screen. So after connecting, the first command used should be set server output on. Then every PLSQL statement can be terminated with semicolon. And PLSQL blocks can be nested within another PLSQL blocks using begin and end. Now we will see how to insert the comment in PLSQL. PLSQL supports two types of comments, single line and multi-line. Single line means you can give a single line comment, multi-line means more than one line. Single line comment begin with a double hyphen anywhere on the line and extend up to end of the line. This is limited only for a single line. Then multi-line comment means which begins with slash and star and end with opposite, that is star and slash. And you can give multiple lines. Means you can start from first line slash and star, and you can give star and slash at fifth line. Now we will see the sample program of PLSQL, that is to print the hello world. Now see declare. Declare is the starting part for declaring the variable. Then message is the variable name. Varchar2 is the data type for the message. The size given is 20. Colon equal to is the assignment operator. And hello world. Hello world is the string or characters, so it is written into single quotes. Then begin. Begin means your actual logic of the program. Then dbms underscore output dot put underscore line. The use of this line is what? To display the messages to the user. So whatever we are writing into that round brackets, that will be displayed to the user. So here I am writing message, means what we are giving to the user, whatever is stored into message. What we have stored into message, that is hello world. And lastly end. End means end of the program. Now how this program can be executed? In Oracle, you have to go to run SQL command line. Then you have to connect to SQL by using your username and password. After that, just give the slash. After giving slash, it will display the output. And our output is hello world. Now, we will see the another concept, that how to accept the input from the user. To accept the input from the user, we have to use ampersand. We can say that this ampersand is same as your scanf from C language. For example, suppose we will take one program to perform the addition of two numbers. For addition of two numbers, we require two variables, and for storing the result, we require third variable. So there is need of three variables. So declare. Then I have declared three variables. A, data type is number. B, data type is number. C, number. Then begin. See what I have written, A colon equal to ampersand A. Means I am going to take the value of A from the user and storing into A. Same thing, B colon equal to ampersand B. Ampersand B means I am taking the value of B from the user and storing into B. Then actual logic is there, that is C colon equal to A plus B. Here what will happen? A and B value is added and it will be stored into C. And then I want to display that to the user. So I had written dbms underscore output dot put underscore line. Into bracket, the addition is what? That is the text which I want to display. Comma. Now there are two vertical lines. These two vertical lines are the concatenation operator in SQL. And then I had given C. Means the value of C will be added to the addition aids. And lastly, end. Now see how this program will run. Now go to SQL command prompt, and we are using slash for running the PLSQL program. Now it will ask enter value for A. Why? Because we have given ampersand A. Then we are entering the value as 3. Now it will display old 6. Means previous program was there, old value was 6. So it will display like this. Now what is the new value? That my entered value is 3. So it is A equal to 3. Then enter value for B, it is 4. Old value was 7 and the new value is 4. Now see, what is the output? The addition is 3 plus 4, that is 7. The addition was the constant text, and then I have used the concatenation operator and C. Now value of C is what? 3 plus 4, that is 7. And lastly it will display one message, that is PLSQL procedure successfully completed. Thank you.